This is Dihan. Specifically, on the last point that you made, you said it's very important not to dissect your speech. So, what you mean by that is, I hope that this is the way that I understood it. When I'm writing the speech up, to not kind of think about what the intro, body, and the conclusion is, and how to link the intro to the conclusion. So, what you're proposing is to kind of just think of a story, make it funny, and then present it. Is that what you meant? Because I quite didn't understand it in depth.
Right. That was not really what I meant. So yes, but I agree with you. Now, I'll explain what I meant by dissecting, right? But yes, in the initial stages, I personally don't think about the opening body or closing, right? I never think about the opening body or closing in my first or even my second draft, right? It is in the process as I build the opening and the closing. I just start writing the speech. I want that content, right? Sometimes my speeches go up to 1,600, 1,700 words, and then I have to reduce it. So yes, I agree with that process. But what I mean by don't dissect a humorous speech is don't dissect a humorous speech is, see, we spoke about uh, the setup and punch, right? Setup and punch, for example. Now, don't go deep into your speech and always think about, writing the setup and the punch. This is what I mean, or the premise or the setup and punch. Don't do that all the time, because when you do that, the humor will fall dry because you're going to think sentence by sentence by sentence, right? And the humor will, because you won't be able to build the rich content. You will be writing sentences after sentences, and when you look at the content, now it will be very dry because you haven't looked at the entire body, right? Like the human body, right? So for example, it's like your let's say you're creating a human being, the same example, right? You draw the you give very specific focus to the eye, right? And you draw it separately. You draw the nose separately. You draw the mouth separately. You draw the head separately. Now, when you do this, I mean, when you put them all together, in the end, they might not even match. So that is what I mean by dissecting. Don't look at your speech with a premise, setup, and lens view. Look at your speech as a story. Look at your speech as a story. And then start refining it, right? Start refining it. Keep refining it. And then and once you're done with the editing, maybe you can go up and check whether you have a setup and punch, right? Once you have the story in place, once you have the rich content in place, you can go back and check whether you have the setup and punch. If not, you can add that. But don't start with that. That's what I meant. I'm sorry if I was not clear in the beginning. Was it clear now?
Yes, yes, certainly.
Yeah.
Also, just to add on to that, Toastmaster Farweez, now when you are contesting, this is a very personal question, but I'm number one curious, and number two, it could be a learning point for all of us as well.
Yeah.
So just assume that you are competing again. I'm not sure how 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 much of a gap would you keep for preparation? Like when will you start writing your speeches?
Right. ISC, what happened was I won first runner up this year at the district finals. As soon as I got home, the next day, I started laying out the topics. That's what I did. Humorous was a bit late. Uh, Humorous, I started laying out the content, I think, uh, 3 months, 2 months, 2.5 months before the contest actually started. So I think if I take a bit of a time, and I think that time is very important, because when you have that initial layout, when you have given that time for your initial layout, when you get to your club contest and when you go back to your speech, it gives you it gives you clarity on how you should start refining. So my answer to your question is I prepare way ahead for both ISC and Humorous. I hope that answers the question.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Since we are running out of time as well, we'll leave the floor open for another few questions. So if you have any questions, please use this time.
Farweez, is me, Pranavesh again.
Hi, Pranavesh.
Yeah, Farweez, very quickly, is a tagline compulsory for humorous?
You mean like a catchphrase?
Yeah, I mean that foundational phrase that
Yeah.
reminds.
I don't think so. I mean, I didn't have a catchphrase this time in my humorous speech. I didn't have a catchphrase, and I don't believe in for humorous. I don't think it's necessary. Well, if it suits the purpose, you can have it, and if it adds to the humor, you can have it. But if not, I don't think it's necessary. No. And there are so many humorous speeches who have won actually the district finals without catchphrases as well. There are so many speeches on YouTube.
Fine, Farweez. Thanks again.
Okay, you're welcome.
Is it okay? I have a quick question. I'm Udari. So this is more about delivering the speech. So when you deliver a tagline or a punchline and you expect audience laughter, but at that moment, if the audience doesn't laugh, or even like let's say for the first few minutes, I don't get any laugh from the audience. How to manage that situation while delivering?
Yeah. Okay. I think that's a very good question. And this is real, right? And we all go through this very challenging situation. You deliver something that you think is a punchline, and it doesn't work. And sometimes, it might work for a certain audience, and it might not work for a larger audience. And and this can happen. And the answer might sound very simple, but I don't think I can answer it any differently. If you expect a laughter from a punchline, and if they don't deliver it, I suggest you look and sound as confident as you can as you move on to the next sentence, right? I think that is what is most important. You shouldn't lose confidence just because they didn't laugh. Because in my experience, right, and I've gone through this several times. I've seen speakers who deliver a punchline, they don't expect laughter, but they move on with their speeches like, I don't care, right? I don't care if that was not funny, but I'm just going to say what I have to say, but I'm gonna say that with the full confidence that I need to have. And when they do that, right? The next punchline, maybe the audience might laugh, but as they keep doing it, the audience keep laughing, right? And they catch on, and they catch on. So I think the most important attitude, it's the most important attitude. If the audience don't laugh at one of your jokes, don't be demotivated. Don't be demotivated. Go prepared. Go prepared. Yeah, sometimes they might laugh for something that is unexpected. Sometimes they might laugh. They might not laugh for something that is expected. And if that happens, make sure that you're prepared to move on to the next sentence immediately with more confidence. And you might be able to catch on with your next punchlines. That is the only solution you have. And I think that is the best solution you have, because I've personally, it's worked for me, and I've seen that working for a lot of speakers out there on stage. I hope that helps, Udari.
Yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
With that being said, given that we are running out of time, let's wrap up the session for today. And before we wrap it up, I just want to say a big thank you to Toastmaster Farweez on behalf of everyone here for your time and dedication put into making this a success. And your insights are super valuable. And I'm sure we all are feeling a lot more ready for the contest now. Thanks again. One more thing for everyone here. Can you all please switch on your cameras for a few seconds so we can take a picture? Toastmaster Sandhuni here will be taking the picture. So if you all can switch on your cameras, that would be easy. Toastmaster Sandhuni, let me know when you are ready, please. Are we good to go? Okay. Can I get a confirmation from Toastmaster Sandhuni whether the picture was taken?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, everyone. So over to Toastmaster Dihan to make any final remarks on behalf of Kalyan Toastmasters.
Hello everyone. Hi, Toastmaster Farweez. Thank you once again on behalf of Cali Toastmasters Club and every Toastmaster and non-Toastmaster here. I think everyone has benefited from your wisdom. The Q&A session, alongside how you spoke about refining and leaving some time for the refinement process, everything was such a valuable experience and was personally a huge learning process for me. So thank you once again. And yes, I hope that we will, Kalani and Toastmaster Farweez, we will keep a connection for the future as well. So thank you once again.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for the invitation, personally, Toastmaster Udari, who reached out, and the Canadian Toastmasters for hosting me. Thank you so much. It's my pleasure.
Thank you.